Good morning students and welcome to our e-learning session initiated by Shri Gyan Manjari Vidyapith. Today we are on lecture number 5 for chapter number 10. Since last 4 lecture we are discussing very important and interesting chapter, that is India in field of agriculture. As since earlier time, ancient time, agriculture is the main economic activity. And when we talk about our country, so most of the production we have learned that the 60% of the labor power is engaged in the agriculture. Then even we know that our export, so total our portion, so that what we say is the 18% contribution in export also is on huge foreign exchange. So in all manner agriculture we consider as a main and important point or the important economic activity. First we talk about the types of farming. See, we have to revise what we have already learned or what we have discussed. So types of farming, first of all we have talked, and in that we talk about the 6 type of farming. That is the subsistence farming. Then we talk about the dry farming. Even the third type was the wet farming, shifting or the zoom cultivation or the zoom agriculture. Then the plantation agriculture. And 6th method what we have learned was the intensive farming. After this 6 type of farming we talk about the farming method, different 3 method which are popular today. That what we have talked, and under that we discuss about the organic farming. Nowadays, like most of the people tend towards the organic subsistence. So organic farming, then we talk about the sustainable farming, and third type was the mixed farming. This point what we have discussed very nicely. Another important point what we have talked about the different types of crop, that is the Kharif, Rabi and Zaid crop. I told you to underline it, mark it, and you need to remember. It will help you for the exam purpose also, it will help you. So in that Kharif crop means the monsoon crop, then we talk about the Rabi, that is the winter crop, and the Zaid, that is the summer crop. So according to the season we distribute this type. Then major agriculture crop, in that we talk about the different food grain. In that we talk about the first wheat, rice, jowar, millet, paddy and maize and so on. Then we talk about the pulses, as it's a leguminous plant, it's a source of protein for the vegetarians. This what we have discussed. Then we talk about the oilseed. Even we talk about the different hot beverages, that what we talk. And the last we discuss about the cash crops. Okay, in that we talk about the sugarcane, jute. Then we talk about the tobacco and rubber. Then we talk about the condiments, adding flavor and the taste, which gives the taste and flavor in the food. Okay, mari masala and spices के बारे में हमने बात की. And last we talk about the fruits and vegetables. See students, here I want to tell you that this chapter will be of 5 to 6 marks. The weightage of this chapter will be the 5 marks. And this all point, it can be asked in the short note, one-liner question answers. As I instruct you, see about the paddy or the wheat or whatever the grain, pulses what we were discussing. At that time the rank, Indian rank, Gujarat rank was mentioned. So I told you to underline it as it is very important. Still we consider agriculture as a life maintenance activity, life maintain karti hai. But due to the green revolution and number of reforms, now we are like we hold a position in the world, say for first, second and so on. So in this lecture we will going to talk about the technical and institutional reforms in agriculture. What type of technical and the institutional reforms took place in our country. Even we will going to discuss about the green revolution. जैसे व्हाइट रिवोल्यूशन मुल्क के अंदर डॉक्टर वर्गीस कुरियन को लेते हैं, उसी तरह से वी विल गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन. सो मेजर पॉइंट ऑफ दिस चैप्टर और द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ऑफ फ्रॉम दिस चैप्टर, that exactly what we will going to discuss. So earlier farming was carried out by the simple and ordinary farm implementation. Yes. Like the sickle and spade and hoe, that is a powdo. Hoe matlab powdo, you all know in the Gujarati it's known as the hoe. Drill plow, bullock cart, and traditional old methods say we used to do the farming. As Indian farmers we consider as a poor, like new method and technique we still not tend to go with it. Okay, so old traditional methods say we used to do the farming. So earlier farming was carried out by the simple and ordinary farm implements like the sickle, spade, hoe, drill, plow and the bullock cart, and now modern implementation have entered into the which tractor, trailers, rotavators are the common. In the field now, you know, with the modern technology and machineries we used to do the farming. So beside the modern equipment like the thresher and the harvester are used in the wheat harvesting, there is an increase in the uses of chemical fertilizers, hybrid seeds, BT seeds, insecticides and drip irrigation and greenhouse, etc. New techniques, new method we are using nowadays. With that we are getting a more production. As now farmer are using the hybrid seeds, different types of irrigation method. Though the rainfall is not sufficient or the rainfall is insufficient, then also we can carry out this activities. So nowadays we are using the different types of techniques, technology what we are using, and with that technology we are getting the more production, or we can say we get the more output. So let's talk about the technical reforms, machineries, टेक्नोलॉजी के जो सामान में चेंजेस हुआ एंड व्हाट वाज द रिफॉर्म इन दिस. सो द चेंजेस व्हिच हैव टेकन प्लेस इन सीड्स, fertilizer and farm implements in India are known as the technical reform. Underline it. See, in textbook I am on page number 85. So one line question, what is technical reform? Please underline what is technical reform. So the changes which have taken place in seeds, fertilizer and farm implements in India are known as the technical reform. जिससे seeds and fertilizer and in the farm implements, these reforms are known as the technical reforms. So let's talk one by one, point by point. We will going to discuss it. So the farmer who earlier used the lather bucket and the water will now use the submersible pumps or the monoblock pump, solar pump, drip irrigation and sprinklers. Now you know about the sprinklers, you know about the solar pump, and so nowadays we use renewable source of energy. Okay, so solar panel and the solar pump, and nowadays it's a very common in use. So now we are going with the new technique and technology. So in place of the earlier use the lather bucket and the water wheel, now what we use, the submersible, we use the submersible pumps or the monoblock pump, solar pump and the drip irrigation and the sprinkle. So this is the innovation or the new technique what we can say. Then the chemical fertilizer like the diammonia phosphate, that is the DAP. Now see student, I advise you to underline it. Say for DAP, then you should know the full form if it. Maybe ये पूछा जाए तो you should know. So underline it. DAP means what? It's a diammonia phosphate. D stand for di, A for ammonia, P for phosphate. So diammonia phosphate, that is a DAP, nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, that is a NPK. NPK is very popular form. NPK, that is a potash. It is a fertilizer. So chemical fertilizer like diammonia, phosphate, DAP, that is a nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, that is a NPK, urea and other biofertilizer, liquid biofertilizer, biotech seeds are used. Nowadays, farmer are use different types of fertilizer, chemical fertilizer what we are using, and it for a short period of time it increase the fertility of the land. Okay. Then farmer are constantly guided through the radio, television, newspaper, DD Kisan channel. DD matlab Delhi Doordarshan. Okay. So DD Kisan channel, SMS on mobile by the Kisan toll free number 1800-180-1551. This is a toll free number for the farmers. So, and the toll free number 1800-180-1551, that is a Kisan call center. See, अब ये आपको याद रखना चाहिए, किसान कॉल सेंटर नंबर आपको दिया होगा, तो ये कौन सा नंबर है? किसान कॉल number. Here any farmer can take a guidance. So Kisan call number. So this is the toll free number. Kisan call center, government farm web portal, iKhedut and mobile application like the Agri Market. See, even the mobile application is launched, web portals are available. So with the modern techniques, farmer get the guidance, even they can interact with one another, एक दूसरे से वो interact कर सकते हैं, from they take a guidance from the scientist. Okay, or with this guidance they can like we can say they can manage and they can go with the some new techniques or method implement कर सकते. They will get the knowledge. आइडिया शेयर कर सकते हैं, नॉलेज को शेयर कर सकते हैं, नए आइडिया ले सकते हैं. सो विथ दिस ऑल आर द टेक्निक्स, रेडियो, मोबाइल, SMS थ्रू, टोल फ्री नंबर्स के द्वारा दे कैन टेक अ गाइडेंस. सो फार्मर आर कॉन्स्टेंटली गाइडेड थ्रू द रेडियो, टेलीविजन, न्यूज़पेपर, DD Kisan channel, SMS on mobile by the Kisan, toll free number 1800-180-1551, that is a Kisan call center. गवर्नमेंट फार्म वेब पोर्टल भी है, पोर्टल के थ्रू भी दे आर गाइडेड, एंड द iKhedut एंड द मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन लाइक द एग्री मार्केट. दिस ऑल आर द लाइक इलेक्ट्रिक पूरा एक इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए पूरे एक सिस्टम है. देन न्यू एग्रीकल्चर रिसर्च एंड न्यू टेक्निक्स आर कन्वेड टू द फार्मर इन द विलेज बाय द ग्राम सेवक. दोस हु आर द ग्राम सेवक, they held the meeting. They will introduce the new technique. They will inform the farmer about the new policies, new technology which introduced in the field of agriculture. So by one or other way, government try to give the information, knowledge and guidance to the farmer with the one or other way. A farmer training center is established in every district हेडक्वार्टर वेयर इन द फार्मर आर गिवन ट्रेनिंग. अब फार्मरों के ट्रेनिंग के लिए, खेतीबाड़ी विकास के लिए ऐसी उसकी संस्था होती है, लाइक अ स्कूल, लाइक अ कॉलेज, एक इंस्टीट्यूट होता है, वेयर द फार्मर ट्रेनिंग सेंटर इज एस्टैब्लिश इन एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर. ओके, इन भावनगर वी आर हैविंग इन द यूनिवर्सिटी प्रीमाइसेस, यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस है हमारा, वहां पे है. So the farmer training center is established in every district headquarter wherein the farmer are given the training. Then the recent information and guidance are provided to the farmer through the agriculture fairs in Gujarat. कृषि मेले लगाए जाते हैं जिसके अंदर farmers अपने new idea, innovations, अपने skills को present करते हैं. तो कृषि मेले भी organize किए जाते हैं. So recent information and guidance are provided through the farmer through the agriculture fair in the Gujarat. Agriculture fair मतलब किसान मेले लगाए जाते हैं. Agriculture university and agriculture colleges are established in every state. Agriculture university are established in Dantewada, Junagadh. If we talk about the Gujarat, then it is in the Dantewada, Junagadh, Anand and Navsari in Gujarat. Please underline it. As गुजरात के बात में जो चीजें आती है, वी हैव टू कीप इन माइंड फॉर एग्जाम पर्पस, यू हैव टू फोकस. सो in Gujarat, university are established at the Datiwada, Junagadh, Anand and Navsari. So, this universities carries our research and prepare the new experts in agriculture. They prepare the new experts in the field of agriculture. Besides this, Indian Council for Agriculture Research, ICAR. Now also ICAR. इसका फुल फॉर्म आपको याद रखना चाहिए. ICAR, that is Indian Council. I stand for Indian Council for Agriculture Research. So Indian Council for Agriculture Research and Department of Agriculture Research and Education, that is a DARE, D-A-R-E, D-A-R-E. ICR, Indian Council for Agriculture Research, and D-A-R-E, that is Department of Agriculture Research and Education, are active in national level. If we talk about the national level, two institute, that is ICAR and DARE, that is the DARE, is currently working in the field of, at the national level, in the field of agriculture. So what we will understand, or what you have to keep in mind, the first point, the change which have taken place in the seeds and fertilizer and the farm implements in India are known as the technical reforms. Now let's talk about the institutional reforms. As we are talking about the technical, seeds और techniques में, seed में, fertilizer में हुआ. Now we will talk about the institutional reforms. See, the reform connected with the land ownership, crop subsidies and the sale of farm produce are considered to be the institutional reform. Underline कर दो, important point. Now this is the difference between the technical reforms and the institutional reform. Institutional reform में हम कौन सी चीज लेते हैं, या तो which point we will going to consider. So the reform connected with the land ownership, subsidy, crop subsidy and the sale of farm produce are considered to be the institutional reform in India. One liner question, important. What do you understand with the institutional reforms, or which point we will include in the institutional reform? So here your answer will be the reform connected with the land ownership, crop subsidies and sale of farm produce are considered to be the institutional reform in India. Now first point, let's talk about the points. So government has discarded landlordism and stopped the exploitation of the farmer. Zamindari pratha jo thi, you have learned in history about the landlord work. एक पूरा सोसाइटी में एक क्लास खड़ा किया था बाय द ब्रिटिशर, जिनको जमींदारी प्रथा कहते थे, उसको अब बैन कर दिया गया है. So the government has discarded landlordism and stopped the exploitation of the farmer. Under the law, land of the tiller, खेड़े तेनी जमीन, गुजराती में उसको कहा जाता है खेड़े तेनी जमीन. अब जो जमीन रियल में जो जमीन पे वर्क कर रहा है, the person who is working on the field, he or she is the owner. So इसको इंग्लिश में कहेंगे land to the tiller. Land to the tiller, जो जमीन को खेड़ता है, जो उगाता है, he is the actual owner of the land. So land to the tiller, land tenancy act, इसको क्या कहा जाता है, land tenancy act. Okay, the land tiller have been given their right to become the owner of the land. अब जो जमीन पे रियल में जो काम कर रहा है, जो खेत मजदूर है या तो गरीब किसान जो है, जो सही में मेहनत करता है, उसी की जमीन मानी जाती है. This is the by law it is decided. Then the disparity among the landowner has been removed by the Land Ceiling Act. Disparity among the landowner, किसकी जमीन, जमींदार की या तो किसकी, तो ये जो disputes खड़े होते थे उसको भी अब निकाल दिया गया है by the law. Farmer are given the financial help for the crop subsidy by Kisan Credit Card and by the nationalized and the cooperative bank. अब farmers are not so financial capable, so government is providing the financial help, subsidies देते हैं. So farmer are given the financial help for the crop subsidy. Subsidy दी जाती है by the credit card and by nationalized and the cooperative bank. सभी बैंक, whether it is a nationalized or the cooperative bank, फार्मर्स को बहुत कम इंटरेस्ट पे पैसे दी जाते हैं. इवन दे आर प्रोवाइडेड विद द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सब्सिडीज. उनको अलग अलग सब्सिडी भी प्रोवाइड की जाती है. When the crop fail due to the drought or through the excessive rain, farmer are given financial help by the government. Up see, due to the heavy rain or due to the drought, काफी बार ऐसा होता है, as a most of the Indian part एग्रीकल्चर इज डिपेंड ऑन द रेन. तो काफी बार ऐसा होता है कि ज्यादा बारिश है तो कम बारिश. सो इन दिस सिचुएशन इफ फार्मिंग फेल होती है तो किसानों को नुकसान ना हो, इसलिए गवर्नमेंट फाइनेंशियल हेल्प भी करती है इन केस ऑफ नेचुरल डिजास्टर. So when the crops fail due to the drought or through the excessive rain, farmer are given financial help by the government. Now by providing the legal support and open auction process is made widespread for the sale of farmer product in the marketing yard. Auction होता है, open auction, मतलब जहां पे भी फार्मर को सबसे ज्यादा प्राइस उसके प्रोडक्शन के लिए मिले वहां पे वो अपनी चीजें बेच सकता है इन ओपन ऑक्शन. यू नो द ऑक्शन, ठीक है, भाव बोले जाते हैं, जहां पे मैक्सिमम भाव मिलेगा वहां पे आप बेचोगे. So when the by providing the legal support and open auction process is made widespread for the sale of the farmer products in the marketing yard. Facility like the cooperative societies, marketing association, cooperative warehouse, cold storage, transportation and communication have been provided so that the farmer would get the minimum support price of the farm products. टेकानो भाव गुजराती में जिसको कहा जाता है मिनिमम प्राइस मिल जाए. सी गवर्नमेंट ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के फैसिलिटी, स्टोरेज फैसिलिटी, वेयर हाउस फैसिलिटीज प्रोवाइड करती है फार्मर्स को. ओके, सो दे विल गेट द मिनिमम और द बेसिक प्राइस फॉर देयर यील्ड और फॉर देयर प्रोडक्शन. सो फैसिलिटीज लाइक द कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी, मार्केटिंग एसोसिएशन, कोऑपरेटिव वेयर हाउस, कोल्ड स्टोरेज, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एंड कम्युनिकेशन हैव बीन प्रोवाइडेड so that the farmer would get the minimum support price of the farm products. भले ही वो ज्यादा प्रॉफिट ना कमाए बट एटलीस्ट बेसिक प्रॉफिट ही शुड गेन और उसको मिल जाए. इसके लिए भी इंप्लीमेंटेशन इंस्टीट्यूशनल रिफॉर्म्स किए गए हैं. देन फॉलोइंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन are operating for the परचेस ऑफ द फार्म प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम द फार्मर सपोर्टिंग प्राइस. अब गवर्नमेंट के कुछ ऐसे प्रोडक्ट है जहां पे परचेस की फर्म है जो फार्मर से सीधे चीजें खरीदते हैं विद द मिनिमम प्राइस. सो फॉलोइंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आर ऑपरेटिंग फॉर द परचेस ऑफ द फार्म प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम द फार्मर फॉर द सपोर्टिंग प्राइस. नाउ नेशनल एग्रीकल्चर कोऑपरेटिव मार्केटिंग फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया. नाउ स्टूडेंट, जैसे मैंने आपको बोला फुल फॉर्म ऑफ डीएपी इंपॉर्टेंट, एनपीके इंपॉर्टेंट, आईसीएआर इंपॉर्टेंट एंड डेयर इज इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ सी 3 points are given. So full form you have to keep in mind. Please pay your attention and these are the very important point. One line में ये पूछा जा सकता है, what is the full form of this or this? So is NAFED. NAFED. So N stand for the National Agriculture Cooperative Marketing Federation. So National Agriculture Cooperative Marketing Federation of India. This is the full form for NAFED. Then comes the GRO FED. FED, and that is the Gujarat Cooperative Oilseeds Growers Federation. Gujarat Cooperative Oilseeds Growers Federation, and full form for the GROFED, and the National Dairy Development Board, NDDB. NDDB. And what is the full form for NDDB? This is the National Dairy Development Board. National Dairy Development Board. ये तीनों ऐसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो फार्मर से उनकी प्रोडक्ट डायरेक्ट खरीदते हैं. ओके, सो फॉलोइंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आर ऑपरेटिंग फॉर द परचेस ऑफ द फार्म प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम द फार्मर एट द सपोर्टिंग प्राइस. सपोर्टिंग प्राइस से ये तीन इंस्टीट्यूट है, NAFED, GROFED एंड NDDB. दे परचेज फ्रॉम बाय द सपोर्टिंग price from the farmer. So first we talk about the technical reforms. Now we are talking about the institutional reforms. Now let's talk about the green revolution, जिसको हम कहते हैं हरियाली क्रांति, हरित क्रांति हिंदी में आप कहोगे. ग्रीन मतलब हरित, ग्रीन कलर. सो ग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन. See, green revolution took place in our country in the decade of 1960. Please underline it. Green revolution took place in our country in the decade of 1960. But before that, there was a time when there was an acute shortage of food grain in the country, and agrarian country had to import food grains. The country was struggling against such a dependent condition. See, before 1960, though India was the land of agriculture, like almost more than 50% was engaged in the agricultural work. Then also we are so backward in the field of agriculture that we need to import the seeds and grain from the other countries. So before 1906 the condition was not good in the term of agriculture. So green revolution took place in our country in the decade of 1960. But before that, there was a time when there was an acute shortage. There was the shortage of the food grain in the country, and agrarian country had to import the food grain. The country was struggling against such a dependent condition. So the extraordinary increase in the agriculture production because of improved seed, increased use of chemical fertilizer, intense efforts of farmer, widespread arrangement of electricity, distribution, improved facility in irrigation is known as the green revolution. Please underline. Question बनता है, what is green revolution? So if the question is, what is green revolution? What is a green revolution? So what is your answer? So answer is the extraordinary increase in the agricultural production because of improved. Extra increase क्यों हुआ agriculture product में? Because of improved seed, insect use of increased use of chemical fertilizer, intense effort of the farmer, widespread arrangement for the electricity, distribution, improved facility in irrigation, and this is known the green revolution. Okay, main object of the green revolution was to increase agriculture production. So here also one line question, what is the object for the green revolution? So main objective of the green revolution was to increase the agricultural production. Farmers were encouraged to use the chemical fertilizers, insecticides more. This led to attain the target to increase the agriculture production. फर्टिलाइजर्स का अच्छे से यूज करके कैसे भी करके इंक्रीज किया हमने, एंड दैट इज द मोटिव, दैट वाज द व्हाट वी कैन से द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ द ग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन. There has been a record production of the wheat and paddy due to the green revolution. आज इंडिया एक्सपोर्ट करता है paddy and wheat. So due to this green revolution, there was been a record production of wheat and paddy due to the green revolution. Where there was a scarcity of food grain in the country, today there is a sufficient storage of the food grain. आज भारत सबसे ज़्यादा अनाज, बहुत सारे अलग अलग ग्रेन और पल्सेस हम उगाते हैं ड्यू टू दिस ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन. Then once drought was hazard of the regular interval in India, its adverse effects are not seen in the green revolution due to the buffer stock of the food grain. The condition of drought of scarcity are faced conveniently. Now see, as I said, Indian हमारी जो एग्रीकल्चर है, वी आर डिपेंड ऑन द रेन. अब भारत में अनसर्टिनिटी है, रेन, मॉनसून साइकिल वेरी अनसर्टन. ओके, सो पहले क्या होता था 1960 के, जिस साल बारिश ना आती थी उस साल ड्रॉप, लोगों को खाने की और उसकी किल्लत होती थी. बट ड्यू टू revolution, see what happened. So once a drought was a hazard of regular interval in India, and its adverse effect are not seen after the green revolution, as we are having enough store of the food grains. Okay, तो भारत के लिए अब ये मुश्किल वाला समय नहीं रहा. ड्यू टू द बफर स्टॉक ऑफ फूड ग्रेन, क्योंकि अब सरप्लस हमारे पास बचता है. सो द कंडीशन ऑफ ड्राउट ऑफ स्कैरसिटी आर फेस कन्वीनियंटली, बहुत आराम से अगर एक दो साल बारिश नहीं आती तो भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं होती है. सो द सेल्फ सफिशियंसी इज फूड ग्रेन इज लैंडमार्क ऑफ द हिस्ट्री अचीवमेंट ऑफ द ग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन. अंडरलाइन करो, अब सरप्लस अनाज हमारे पास है, ये हमारा लैंडमार्क है. सो द सेल्फ सफिशियंसी इन द फूड ग्रेन, अब हमें कहीं से इंपोर्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं. सेल्फ सफिशियंट, वॉट एवर रिक्वायर from our country we produce within the country. So the self-sufficiency in the food grain is a landmark of historical achievement of the green revolution. So today the production of cash crop has increased and the production of pulses and other cereal has decreased. Now see, today the production of cash crop अब इंक्रीज हो चुका है, एंड पल्सेस एंड अदर सीरियल्स हैव डिक्रीज विद द रिपीटेशन ऑफ द सेम क्रॉप टू रीच द स्टेज वेयर अदर कंट्रीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड हैव प्रोग्रेस यूजिंग द बेटर टेक्नोलॉजी इन एग्री ग्रेन फील्ड. वी विल हैव टू बी रेडी फॉर नेक्स्ट ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन. अब थोड़ा एक दिक्कत यह है कि अब एज अ कैश क्रॉप गिव्स अ गुड रिटर्न, फाइनेंशियल रिटर्न, तो फार्मर्स टेंड्स टू गो विद द कैश क्रॉप. अब कैश क्रॉप ज्यादा उगा रहे तो इसकी एडवर्स इफेक्ट क्या है, ग्रेन और पल्सेस हम कम उगा रहे हैं, बट दैट इज ऑल्सो द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट. सो अगेन वी रिक्वायर्ड अ ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन, और एक ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन अगर आता है सो वी कैन बैलेंस दिस थिंग. ओके, सो this is the green revolution. See student, in a question if is asked what is the green revolution, so their answer will be the extraordinary increase in the agriculture production because of, for what purpose? For the seeds, increase in the use of chemical fertilizer, intense efforts of the farmer, widespread arrangement for the electricity distribution among improve the facility in irrigation is known as the green revolution. Now last point let's talk, that is the role of agriculture in Indian economy. As we are talking about the social in economy, so what is the role of agriculture in economy? So this is the last point of your chapter. See, agriculture is the main occupation in India. The pressure which India had at the time of independence is now reduced somewhat. However, still एन इम्पॉर्टेंट कंट्रीब्यूशन इन इंडियन इकोनॉमी. अब पहले जो आज़ादी के समय एग्रीकल्चर पॉइंट जो कर रहे थे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन या तो प्रपोर्शन था, नाउ इट इज लेसर कंपेयर टू द इंडिपेंडेंट टाइम, बट स्टिल एग्रीकल्चर प्ले द मेजर एट द वाइटल रोल. सो इट्स प्रोवाइड द एम्प्लॉयमेंट टू अबाउट 1/2 ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द कंट्री. सी, भारत की आधी आबादी आज भी एग्रीकल्चर पे डिपेंड है. Number 2, agriculture holds about 17% of the total gross domestic production. GDP का 17% एग्रीकल्चर होल्ड करता है. ग्रोस डोमेस्टिक हमारी जो प्रोडक्शन है उसका 17%. सो ग्रोस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्शन इज होल्ड, एग्रीकल्चर होल्ड द 17%. Paddy, wheat, oilseeds, cotton, jute, sugarcane, tobacco, potato are major agricultural production of India. Much foreign exchange is earned from their exports. तो कौन सी चीज हम एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं nowadays? Paddy, wheat, oilseed, cotton, jute, sugarcane, tobacco, potato are the major agricultural products. India ranks second in the world in agrarian production. Important point. Second position, second rank है in agrarian production. Now India ranks second in the world in agrarian production. Industry like the cotton textile, sugar, paper, oil, as well as the industry regarding the food processing get their raw material from the agriculture production only. Obviously, जो चीज़ें के रॉ मटेरियल खेती से आते हैं ये सब इंडस्ट्रीज का डेवलप. सो दिस इज द बेनिफिट और द रोल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर इन इंडियन इकोनॉमी. Now agriculture provide food to the people of India. World agriculture and market because of irregular and uncertain rain and inadequate facility of irrigation. Now totally as I said हमारी farming है rain पे depend है. So the Indian contribution is not consistent. एक जैसा हमारा production consistent नहीं है as we depend on the rain much. So food security is necessary for any country today. If the demand for the food grain is increased and if the food grain have to be imported, then the political independence of that country may be at the risk. अब सबसे सुंदर बात यहाँ पे कही गई, जैसे हमारे भारत की आबादी 137 करोड़ के आसपास है. If we can't produce the basic requirement from the country within the country, then we need to import. हमें किसी दूसरे देश पे आधार रखना पड़ेगा और ये देश के लिए घातक बात होती है. जब आप खाने के लिए दूसरे देश पे आधार रखते हो, then it is a danger for any country. So we have become the self-reliant in the field of grain production due to the green revolution. अब 1960 के पहले बहुत सारी चीजें इंपोर्ट करते थे, but now we are in the safer side. So we have become the self-reliant in the field of grain production due to the green revolution. Along with the increase in the farm production, there is an increase in the population of the country also. अब 1960 की population और आज हमारी population में डबल का काउंटिंग है. So we have to work more on this agriculture field. So population was at 36 crore in 1951, which today is more than 125 crore or 137 crore से ऊपर. So this has increased the demand of food grain. However, there has been an increase in the production of food grain in our country during last 5 years. See, in 1950-51, India has produced 51 crore ton of food grain, which has increased to a record level 265.04 crore ton in 2013-14. अब सोचो 4 गुना से ज्यादा हम अब बना रहे हैं. So with the food grain which we have today, the minimum requirement of the country can be fulfilled. Now it is necessary to maintain the buffer stock and to get increase it. Storage करना जरूरी है, buffer stock होना जरूरी है. In case of any natural or the artificial disaster, we require the buffer stock. So the minimum requirement of the country can be fulfilled. It is necessary to maintain the buffer stock and to get increase. By the buffer stock of the grain, the scarcity of the grain can be prevented during the drought or in case of inadequate production of the food grain. कोई भी natural disaster होता है, कोई problem आता है, then we can survive. The wastage of food grains can be prevented by implementing the technique of the preserve of the grain in warehouse. मैंने आपको बोला था जब मैं समझा रही थी कि हजारों टन अनाज हर साल सड़ जाता है, चूहे खा जाते हैं. So उसका storage as we produce in a large quantity, it has to be stored in the proper manner. So warehouse अच्छे होने चाहिए. The hunger of thousands of family can be satisfied if the buffer stock is distributed among them free of charge. See, government राशन की दुकानों में फ्री में देती है, but still we need to improve in the distribution of the food grain. So it is strong necessary of the time to stop the wastage of food grain, it is necessary to strengthen the food stocking and the arrangement of the conserving it. It is good beginning. The government had made the provision to supply the food grain up the poor people through the Food Security Act. फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट है, रेशन की दुकानों में गरीब से गरीब जो व्यक्ति है उसको भी मुफ्त में खाना और मुफ्त में अनाज मिले, इसकी व्यवस्था की गई है. बट स्टिल वी नीड्स टू वर्क in a proper and in a hard manner. So what is the impact of globalization on Indian agriculture? As we know that in 1991 India adopted the LPG policy, liberalization, privatization and globalization. Globalization means what? आज पूरी दुनिया के साथ हम बिजनेस ट्रेड रिलेशन से जुड़े हुए हैं. आज पूरी दुनिया, जिसको हम सही सेंस में कहते हैं वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, इसको ग्लोबलाइजेशन को कहा जाता है, वैश्विककरण. तो उसकी असर भी खेती में क्या हुई? सो द पॉलिसी ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन has been implemented with the purpose to the Indian farmer can sell his farm product in the world market and earn profit. Competition होगी तो quality अच्छी होगी, and as we can sell into the world market, so we will get the more profit. That was the main focus. So many changes took place in the agriculture field due to the globalization. The process to export or import crop production is made very simple. बहुत आसानी से आप अपनी चीजें बेच सकते हैं या तो हम खरीद सकते हैं. So cotton, chili and the til are now available in Chinese market and various fruits from the world are now available in Indian market. जैसे हम बहुत सारे इंटरनेशनल पिज़्ज़ा के ऊपर आप टॉपिंग में जो एवोकाडो और सब रखते हैं, सो वो इंडिया की चीज़ें बाहर और बाहर की चीज़ें इंडिया में आसानी से आपको मिल जाती है ड्यू टू द ग्लोबलाइजेशन. द कॉस्टली जेनेटिकल मॉडिफाइड बीटी सीड सोल्ड बाय द मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज आर नाउ अवेलेबल इन इंडिया. थोड़ा फ्लैशबैक में जाओ, जब हमने इसमें कैश क्रॉप में कॉटन का पढ़ा था और गुजरात का देखा तो हमने पढ़ा था कि बीटी कॉटन सीड यूज कर रहे हैं गुजरात के फार्मर, हाइब्रिड सीड्स है. ये भी ग्लोबलाइजेशन का ही एक हमारे मिला हुआ है. जेनेटिकल मोड बीटी सीड सोल्ड बाय द मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज आर नाउ अवेलेबल इन इंडिया. ड्यू टू दिस फार्मिंग हैज बिकम कॉस्टली, द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ कॉटन एंड मेज हैज इंक्रीज. So with the import becoming smoother, the domestic farm production have been faced though tough competition. Due to the globalization अब क्या हुआ? मार्केट फ्री हो चुके हैं, कंपटीशन बढ़ रहे हैं. एंड सी स्टूडेंट्स, व्हेन वी फेस द कंपटीशन वी विल इंप्रूव आवर सेल्फ एज वी हैव टू फेस द कंपटीशन. तो अब भारत का फार्मर भी जो है वो खेती के अंदर नई टेक्निक और अपने आप को इंप्रूव कर रहा है. So the production of cotton and maize has increased. With the import becoming smoother, the domestic farm products have to face the tough competition. Some products have gained the global market, hence is necessary of registration of their patent. अब patent register करते हैं, एक particular कोई seed होता है, कोई crop होता है, उसकी patent भी कर लेते हैं. So it is necessary to register qualitative farm production and national pattern in the world market. And if you want to survive in the world market, आपकी चीजें क्या होनी चाहिए? वर्ल्ड क्लास होनी चाहिए. वर्ल्ड क्लास चीज देने के लिए क्या होगा? You have to face the competition and you have to perform accordingly. To face the competition in agriculture product in global market, India will have to adopt new technology and concentrate on quality. We have to improve ourselves. Still we need to improve ourselves. Series of planted steps will have to be taken to increase the economic prosperity and solidarity of people. Still we need to work very hard. So with increased population, the probable future increase in the demand for agriculture product and to maintain the march of the economic progress. इस लड़ाई में अभी भी हमें काम करना जरूरी है. So it is necessary to arrange the strategy for the second green revolution. Now we have to focus on second green revolution. See, due to the globalization, now we enter to the global market, and when we have a tough competition and we have to survive in this tough competition, so we need to work even very hard. So I think all the point what we have already discussed and what we discuss in this lecture is completely clear to you all. See, Now we will talk about the homework part. First of all, what is meant by Green Revolution? What is, see this student, you have to write by your own, huh? What is meant by Green Revolution? Second question. Name the institution working on agricultural research, नेशनल लेवल का एक पहले कर लेते हैं, रिसर्च एट national level. So name the institutions working on the agricultural research at the national level. So two questions, what is meant by the Green Revolution, and name the institution working on agricultural research at the national level. Student, here this chapter we are ending up. Important, as I said, it is having the 5 mark of weightage. So you have to work hard, read the content and clear your concept. Okay, so here I am ending this lecture. Thank you, take care and goodbye.